Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maureen. You can call me Mo. I have two boys, ages 14 and almost 13. Oh my goodness. I'm about to have two teenagers. That's crazy to think about. Saying it out loud is just another thing. But we have homeschooled for 5 years, and then this last year they actually went into a middle school, and now we are back to homeschooling. I've been getting a lot of messages about how we choose our homeschool curriculum and recommendations, if I could give recommendations on choosing curriculum. And so much so that I was like, you know what, I just real quick was like, let me just make a video, literally real quick. I just jotted some things down when I was getting ready. And so I'm just gonna kind of funnel you through how I choose our curriculum, and hopefully that will help you in making a decision on which way to go. Because if you have done any research at all on homeschool curriculum, you have probably found that there are a gazillion, yep, that's a number, gazillion options when choosing your homeschool curriculum. So if it's your first year, it can be very overwhelming. So hopefully my strategy will help you kind of figure things out for yourself. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So the way I approach choosing curriculum is I want you to kind of think of like a funnel, right? So all of these questions, like we're starting out with all of the options, and as we answer the questions, you're kind of narrowing your options down to hopefully just a few or one, ideally. So that's kind of the idea behind my strategy and what I'm going to share with you. So the first question I would recommend, and I do recommend asking yourself, is do you want a faith-based curriculum or a secular curriculum? That question alone will probably cut at least your options in half. So if a biblical-based curriculum or whatever your faith is, if that is of importance to you, then that will help you kind of narrow out the secular options. So making the decision, do I want faith-based or is it that important? Do I prefer a secular-based option? Making that decision alone is gonna already kind of slice your options somewhat in half, maybe not quite that much, but it's gonna help you narrow those down. The next question I would say to ask yourself is how many kids do you have, or how many kids are you going to be homeschooling? The reason why I say this is because if you have multiple kids, there are curriculums that are a little more friendly to homeschooling multiple children at one time. For example, we will be using Sunlight this year. I'm going to give a lot of plugs to Sunlight probably because obviously it's what we're going to be using. So it works for us right now. But the way Sunlight works is that they offer cores. And within that core are like your history, Bible, geography. But that core can be used for several ages. So my boys are thankfully pretty close in age. They're only 1 grade level apart, but even if they were 3 to 5 grade levels apart, we could still ideally use one core and cover multiple subjects together. And then from there, we order their independent, what I call their independent subjects. So like their math, their language arts, things like that. And what that does is really just save us a lot of time so that I'm not having to do history with one child and then a separate history with another one. And like that for all of the subjects, we can knock out multiple subjects together in one sitting, and then I can work one-on-one with each of them in their independent studies and their grade specific level subjects. So I highly recommend that if you have more than one child that you're homeschooling, doing something that offers you to really knock out as many subjects as possible together would be ideal, and it does save a lot of time. Unless you just like to do a lot of one-on-one work, then you do you, boo. You just get after it. But know that that option is out there, and if you're looking to save some time and energy, go for it. Next, I would say ask yourself, what are your goals? Are you planning on enrolling your kids back into a school maybe next year or a few years down the road? Is college prep essential? Will you be traveling? Do you want your focus to be more on character development? or maybe more rigorous learning? These questions are important because it's going to help you decide also which style of curriculum and which one might be the best. So for example, if traveling is something, maybe let's say the reason why you're homeschooling is because you bought an RV and you guys are going to travel for the next year or two or whatever. Then having a lot of just stuff for school is probably not the best idea. You're going to want something that's a little bit more compact. Online learning might not be the best option if you're traveling because you may not always have access to Wi-Fi. Things like that is kind of what I'm trying to get at. You know, have an idea of what your goal is, what does the year look like for you, and allow that to help funnel those decision making. So, for example, my boys want to go back to or want to go to a high school next year. And so I'm aware of that, and I'm doing my best to choose, you know, we're using Sunlight, but they're independent studies. I had an option of different types of math within Sunlight to use. So I went with one that's a little bit more worksheet based. It's not something that we did previously, but I know that I want to set them up for the best success whenever they do go back to a high school. And in most traditional school settings, they're going to do worksheets. They're going to approach math in that way. And so I want the transition for them from homeschool back to a traditional school setting to be as easy as possible. And I want to set them up for success. So I'm aware of that, and that helps me decide, okay, so we've done Life of Fred before, loved it. It was fantastic. It excelled my youngest, but now, you know, next year and the year after is going to be a little bit different. And so, again, I'm trying to prep them for what's to come. So all that to say, what are your goals? Answer that question, and that will very likely help, again, just funnel through your choices for curriculum. And my last question I would ask you, and might very likely be the most important, and you're going to be like, really? Is, do you enjoy the curriculum that you're using? Because if you are not enjoying it, your children will not enjoy it. And if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? So make sure that it's something you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it and you're already waking up stressed and worried about having to do this and do that and all the things, your whole year is just gonna go. So ask yourself that. Do you enjoy your curriculum? Are you excited about using your curriculum? Not every day is gonna be flowers and daisies, I get it. But overall, you need to be excited about it, and you need to enjoy the curriculum that you choose. I personally think that it's almost more important when your children are younger in their elementary grade levels when homeschooling, that you enjoy it more than they do, because if you enjoy teaching, they're gonna enjoy it. As they get older, I think that then it's a little bit more of, okay, are they enjoying it? Because you'll see the transition to where more of their work is more independent based, and they're relying on you less. And so it is important at that point that they do enjoy it. I mean, I get it, it's school, regardless of where you are. For some kids, it's just school and you're just gonna have to make them do it. But it can be enjoyable. And so ask yourself that. If your kids are young, are you enjoying it? Are you excited about the curriculum? If they're older, are they enjoying it? And that might help you, hopefully, make the decision on which curriculum to choose, and or even should I keep the curriculum that we've been using? All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, I just wanted to make this really quick video. I was like literally doing my hair, and getting messages still on curriculum was like, I'm just gonna throw something together real quick. So I hope it was helpful. And listen, I also wanna add, don't stress out about choosing your curriculum if this is the first time that you're doing it. I know it can be overwhelming. I know it can be stressful. And I know it's so hard not to do this, but please don't base your decision on what other people are using, because you are unique. Your kids are unique. You guys, you can make and need to make the decision that's best for your fit and your family. So don't look at me and think, oh, well, she used the Good and the Beautiful, or she used Sunlight, and so I've got to use that, or Susie Q's using, you know, IEW, or whatever the case might be. There are a ton of amazing, excellent options out there. And so once you make your decision, stick with it and don't stress that you made the wrong one. If I could give an extra little bonus tip, it would be stick with what you choose, and stick with it throughout the year, and then decide if that's something that you need to change the next year. But know that you are the best fit for your kids, and you're the best teacher for them. And so be encouraged by that, and be excited about homeschooling. So I'm excited for you guys. Hey, listen, if you enjoyed this or you found it helpful, if you will, hit that like button, and even subscribe for some more videos coming your way. And leave me a comment. I would love to know what homeschool curriculum you chose or what you've used. All the things. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys. I just recorded this whole video and realized all the stuff that was on my counter. Do you see all that stuff on the table? It was on the counter behind me, and I moved it to make it look clean. But you could see it the whole time.